Hi guys, so welcome back to the channel. So now we're going to work on how to get a story for your African folk tales. So the first thing I want to do is sign into Chat GPT. So I'm going to click on Google. I'm going to type in Chat GPT. Okay, click on it. And then I'm going to open this one right here. And there you go. Okay, so as you can see right here at the very top to your left, this is Chat GPT 3.5, right? It says here, how can I help you today, right? So it's whatever you want to do. Okay, so right now we're looking to create a story, right? We want an African folktale, right? So never mind about these things you see here, because that's not what we're getting into. We want to just have ChatGPT give us a story. So you can kind of figure out what you want the story to be. Let's just say, you can give it some names, right? Name your characters yourself, or you can let ChatGPT name the characters. Let's just say, I could say, create a story about a beautiful servant named, give her a name, named Beauty, who falls in love with the very rich, handsome prince named Trey, right? And then you're going to click on that arrow, click it, and let's see what ChatGPT will give us. So there it is. Here's your story. Okay. So this is one way you can figure out a story to start off for your African folktale. Or if you know stories yourself, any books you may know, you can probably go get you some books that has African folktale stories, and you could base it off of that to create your images and stuff like that. Or you can write your own story yourself, like I did. I wrote 2 of my own stories. They weren't African folklore, but they were like Pixar American tales, right? So, I mean, this is just how you can begin it. So, I mean, I'm not going to go into reading the whole story, but as you can see, I said, create a story about a beautiful servant named Beauty, who falls in love with a very rich, handsome prince named Trey, right? And then when I click the arrow, this is what ChatGPT gave me. So it says here, once upon a time in the kingdom of Eldoria, there lived a beautiful servant named Beauty. She worked tirelessly in the grand castle, her grace and kindness captivating all who crossed her path. Despite her lowly station, her heart was pure and her spirit unbroken. Okay, so I'm not going to go into reading this whole thing to you. And let's just say, if you like what they gave you, right? If you like this story and you want to save it, I would go to, now look at the bottom where I'm going to type. I would click on WordPad, right? WordPad was already there because I use it. So I would say use WordPad, open it up. And then if you like this story, right, you can copy this story, copy it, right? Copy the whole thing, copy, go back to your WordPad, which is here. See, I already have some open. So, and copy and paste that story. Right now, you can make it bigger. because this is WordPad, so I can stretch this over. And there you go. There you have your story. That's just one way you can create your story. Now, because like I said, I'm going to do one video at a time. So that's one way you can do it. I'm quite sure there's other ways you can find how you can get a story. Like if you got books in your home, you can easily look at some of the books and create a folklore story like that. Go to the library and get some books to get some ideas. Or if you can find them online, let's just see. If we go online and let's see, if we type in African folk tale stories, and let's click it and let's just see what comes up. Okay, so I'm not sure. Here's something. The very first one here, it says African folk tales. So it says the top 10 African folk tales. Okay, so you can do things like this. So you click on this, and here's one right here. Let's close this out. African folk tales. Folk tales and myths are served as a means of handing down traditions and customs from one generation to the next in Africa. Okay, so I'm not going to read these stories to you. You have to come to it and figure out which ones you're interested in, so scroll through the website, and I guess these are the African folk tales right here. Okay, Anansi in the Pot of Wisdom, the Cheetah and the Lazy Hunter, traditional Zulu story, the Couple and the Lion, a tale from Kenya, the Tortoise, the Dog and the Farmer, Woe or Happiness. I mean, wow, maybe I need to label this website myself, save it, because here's one place you can find you some African stories, right? Come to this website. So I suggest that you take this website right here, highlight it and save it, and you can always come back to it. Okay, let's click on the first one right here. I'm probably pronouncing the name wrong. Anansi in the Pot of Wisdom. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's click it and see.
If your bowels are so consistent, they can practically tell you the time.
Oh, okay, it takes you to a video. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm so sorry. It takes you to a video. Okay, so that's not what I wanted to share with you. So let's come out of that. Okay. So I don't think I want to mess with this one. If it's I thought it was gonna just open up a story for you. The Cheetah and the Lazy Hunter. Yeah, they just go directly to YouTube. But here's the thing. You can look at these videos, right? But you can do your own version of it if you like the story, right? Because I can't play this because I'm going to get copyrighted because it's not my video to actually upload and play. But I mean, you can look at you could use that website for stories, right? You can look at these videos and you can make your own version of it. Your pictures and everything, your voiceovers and everything will be different from this person right here. All right, so that might not be such a bad thing. So we can go back. So I'm going to come out of this. I didn't know this was going to be videos, but that is one way to find it. And another way is just going to ChatGPT. You can get books. You might have books around in your home. You can Google stories on your phone to find what you want to talk about. Okay, what type of folktale story that you want to share. You can create one through ChatGPT, but you see how I added names, my own names, right? When I gave the girl name, her name is Beauty, and I said the prince's name was Trey. So when you can give your own names, it'll make a whole story with the names that you give, and you can go a little more detailed than what I had. Now, I'm not sure how long this looks like a very short story. I wonder if you can continue with the story. Let's see. So it says Chat GPT can make mistakes. Consider checking important information. So this does appear to be very short. So I wonder if I could actually continue with the story. So maybe I could say create. Let's see if it would let me continue with the story. So create a longer version of Beauty. I'm gonna say the girl. You gotta see one thing with these AIs, you got to be detailed, because if you don't, you will confuse it. So I'm gonna say create a longer version of the girl, or the mating, the servant, loaned, beauty, and the very rich prince named Trey, right? So let's see what happens if I could extend the story a little bit, if it would. So click the arrow and let's just see if it will extend it. So as you can see, it's doing that. And yeah, so actually so it extended it. So you can extend it. It may come off a little different if the story is not continued. Maybe let me see if I highlight this right here where it says create a story about a beautiful servant named Beauty who falls in love with a very rich, handsome prince named Trey. Let's see if I could extend that. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to say create. Oops, sorry, I'm doing this wrong. Got to make sure you're typing in the box. Okay, create a longer version. Let's see. You do have to just play around with this stuff. Right, I say that first, and then I'm going to paste what I copied into the box, and then let's see. Okay, now let's just see what it does here. But as you can see, the kingdom names be different and all that kind of stuff. But it, you can kind of use these things just to extend the story. You can still use the kingdom, like the first kingdom it gave me here. Let me see. Was Eldoria. So I can extend this by using Eldoria instead of using, what's the next kingdom? Veridian, however you pronounce it. So I won't use that one. I'll just make it Eldoria. I'll just keep it as that. So you may have to, if you want to extend the story and make it longer for your storytelling, then you may have to play around with it and change some of the words up. Okay, you can do that. All right. So that is one way how you can find stories. There's many ways you can create stories, and you can write one yourself. You can go into your WordPad, right? And you can type in your own stories yourself. You can think of something yourself. And it's just that simple. However you want to do it, right? Let's just say you call it the 12 servants and the 12 princes, right? Like that. So I would actually make this bigger. Matter of fact, let's do that over. I'm going to end it here. First of all, let's change the size. So I'm going to make the size big. Let's just say the title, right? Maybe I'll make it 28. Let's give it a color. a bright color. I'll say red, and then I'll underline it. So let's just say we could call it the 12 servants and the 12 princes, right? Maybe this is too big, so maybe let's make the title a little shorter. Let's see. I'm looking for the size. Oh, over here. Sorry, guys. 26. There we go. So we could say the 12 servants and the 12 princes, right? So it's like for each servant, there's a prince. So that, it's just made up. And, you just come up with something like long ago. Oh, no, no underline. Let's remove the underline. And we can say long ago in a very rich kingdom, right? Lived 12 rich princes. Oops, sorry, spelled prince wrong. Princes, right? Because 12 of them. Then you can say each servant fell in love with the 12 princes. Okay? And if you have a great imagination, you could go on and on and on about what you want it to be and stuff like that. Or, like I say, you can find it. You can find your own stories. You can create your own stories. You can look at that website that I showed you. You can, get a take on that and create your own stories. But nonetheless, you're going to have to put work in. It's not just going to be so simple as people is saying, because you don't want it to look like you completely copying someone else. So please, if you do find a story and so many other people are making them, try to make your own twist to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just copy exactly what someone else do. Create your own stuff. So guys, I'm going to end it here. That is it for how to find a story. You see, I have it saved down here. Okay, you see when I was making the list. So that is one of the first things you need to do when you want to learn how to create African folk tales. The first thing you need is you need a story. So boom, we got our stories, right? Go back to ChatGPT. We got our stories, right? This is the first story I came up with, and I showed you how you can extend it, but just change the name of the kingdom, and everything else you should be able to use. Read through the story. Make sure you read through it, because I showed you how you can extend it, right? You can, because just by using the same names, Trey and Beauty, right? That's their names. We got Trey and Beauty. So you may have to read through the story, see what makes sense and what don't make sense. You might have to change it around a little bit. And if not, if you're completely fine with what you see, then leave it at that. Okay. So I'm going to end it here. I thank you so much for watching. Make sure you watch the first part. I just really want to help people to understand how to do this, because I want to understand how to do it. So I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.